Hey guys, I just wanted to touch base today on the topic of how our bodies react to stress and just briefly talk about the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. I've found that over the years, many of my clients as an occupational therapist and health coach either have never heard of or don't have a basic understanding of the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. And I believe that it's super important to have just a basic understanding of the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system so that we understand how our bodies react to stress and how our thoughts and actions can really influence many things going on in our bodies. So the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system are part of the autonomic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is primarily responsible for activating our fight or flight response. So our sympathetic nervous system we activate that fight or flight response when we're in a perceived stressful situation. So I want to emphasize that word perceived because I'll be talking a little bit more on that later on. So when we're in a perceived stressful situation, our fight or flight response is activated in our body and it triggers our brain to release adrenaline and pump it through our bodies. Our heart rate increases, our blood pressure increases, there's more oxygen pumping to our muscles to get ready for us to fight and protect us from whatever thing we are facing. And our digestion, it doesn't work. It doesn't work well in this mode. We are not focused on digestion because we are going into battle and we are ready to fight. And so there is no time to rest and there is no time to digest. So when we are in this state, so all of this is happening, and if we continue to perceive the situation that we are in as stressful, then the body starts to release the stress hormone cortisol. And we continue to remain in that state, that heightened, alert state of stress, ready to fight. With the parasympathetic nervous system, so if we start to realize that it's not stressful anymore and we can kind of calm down, then the parasympathetic nervous system is activated. So the parasympathetic nervous system is known as rest and digest. So it is exactly what it says. We rest and we digest in this mode. Our digestive system works really well. Everything relaxes. Our muscles relax. Our heart rate lowers. Our blood pressure lowers. We can think clearer because there's not like a million things running around and, heaps of stress hormones being released in our bodies. And we can heal and recover in this mode. So everything is working a little bit more smoothly and gentler. So there's benefits of both modes. Of course, we need both because obviously you need to be able to react to stressful situations or emergencies and things like that. And we also need to be able to rest and digest and have that time to heal and recover and digest our food and things like that. But the sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight response, it was super useful back in the day, in the caveman days when we were coming across animals and they're coming to fight us and we have to get ready and protect our life and protect our family and things like that. But in this day and age, that system, that fight or flight response is being activated constantly because we're perceiving daily activities as stressful situations. So things such as like being stuck in a traffic jam, we're perceiving that, not everyone, but some of us, we're perceiving that to be super stressful, and our body, and our brains, it doesn't know the difference. So we perceive it as stressful. All of a sudden, adrenaline is pumping through our body, our heart rate increases, our blood pressure increases, our breaths get shorter, and we're triggering this stress response when really we're quite safe in our car, and we don't need all that adrenaline and cortisol just pumping through our bodies to deal with that. And when, like in this day and age where we're living in this chronic state of stress, like busy, working, do this, do that, get home, do this, do that, go to bed, get up, and it's just constant. And so we're demanding so much of our bodies. We're just in this fight or flight mode all the time. And maybe you can feel it. Like when I was 28 and I got diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, I was definitely in fight or flight mode majority of the day, and I found it so hard to calm down. I really had to focus to calm down. It wasn't something that came natural to me at that time in my life. And that's what happens when we're in fight or flight mode all the time. It's very difficult to activate the parasympathetic nervous system on more of a regular basis and bring ourselves down and down regulate ourselves so that we can go into rest and digest mode and just relax. So the purpose of the various exercises and techniques that I've guided people through over the last few days are to activate that parasympathetic mode, to activate that rest and digest mode, so that our bodies get used to going into that mode and knowing that it's okay and it's safe and we can do this, and this isn't that hard. It's, you can do it within a couple of minutes if you just prioritize it and make the time for it. So the good thing about our nervous system is that it loves repetition. So I've said a couple of times in my videos that when I was 28 and I was experiencing panic attacks, I found that the thing that worked for me was I had to break up my day with doing multiple meditation and breathing breaks and yoga breaks instead of just like one. So I couldn't just wake up in the morning and do an hour of yoga and then just expect to feel calm for the rest of the day. It was like if I did that, yeah, I'd feel calm. It was great. Maybe an hour or two afterwards, I'd feel pretty good. And then my body would just go into this state of stress and all my anxieties would increase and I just couldn't and then the rest of the day I was just in busy mode and I couldn't calm down, and then it got to nighttime and I couldn't sleep because I was just in a chronic state of stress all day and anxiety. So what worked for me was just dedicating 5 or 10 minutes to doing some small breathing exercises, meditation or yoga at multiple times throughout the day to help my body and teach it to come back into that parasympathetic mode, because it wanted to stay up here and I had to teach it okay, calm down. Okay, calm down. So if you are feeling like you're just running on adrenaline all day, then I definitely recommend trying to break up your day and have like multiple breaks to really trigger your nervous system into going into this rest and digest mode more often and getting used to going into this mode. So of course we can't just spend our lives in that mode all the time, like spend our whole day in that mode. It's, you know, it's not beneficial for us. We need to do both, but yoga, breathing, and meditation really helps teach us those skills to down regulate. And I think it's super important to understand that if you are living in this chronic state of stress, then this is going to take its toll on your body. So if, you know, many people that are stressed and have anxiety, you know, they've found in many studies now that that many of these people have digestive issues, because when you're in that fight or flight mode, you're not resting and digesting. That isn't a priority for your body at that time. The priority is to protect you from whatever you are perceiving to be a danger or a threat to you. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that because I'm kind of waffling on a bit. And I actually recorded this video a number of times. I find that I explain this to clients all the time, but I think when I'm speaking to a video, it is a little bit harder for some reason. But that's just me perceiving it to be harder. Anyway, I hope you have a good day. In summary, sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight mode, adrenaline, cortisol, stress, all the stress hormones. We can't digest in this mode compared to the parasympathetic mode, rest and digest. We can use many tools to help us down-regulate from the sympathetic state to the parasympathetic state. And yoga, meditation, breathing exercises are just some of the tools that we can use. And the nervous system loves repetition, and it's very beneficial to practice these regularly so that you can access them regularly, because we're not always we're not always at home or whatever. So you can learn breathing techniques that you can use in the car when you're in a traffic jam, or when you're waiting in line for something, or if you're at the supermarket and it's really busy and that overwhelms you, you can use these breathing techniques when you're there to calm your nervous system down and bring you back into that nice, relaxing rest and digest mode. Okay, guys, if you want to talk more about this, then just shoot me a message. Have a good day.